Hey everyone, it's Eric here with Crystal Cove Conservancy. I wanted to take some time to introduce you to data analysis on SageModeler. You may have used this program to make a model before, but it is also a very great tool when you want to visualize and analyze data. For us, on the left-hand side, we have the data that you helped us collect. And on the right-hand side, we have our three research questions. Today, we're going to look at how we can use the data that we collected to answer some of these research questions. So let's step back and take a quick reminder of what these research questions are. So research question 1 revolves around leaf litter decomposition rate, where we are looking at what type of plants will decompose the quickest and which types of plants will decompose the slowest. Water saver plants, water spender plants, or non-native plants. Next, research question 2 revolves around soil moisture. Where will soil moisture be the highest and where will it be the lowest? Areas with water saver plants, water spender plants, or non-native plants. And then lastly, research question 3 looks at restoration effects on decomposition. So where will leaf litter decompose the quickest and where will it decompose the slowest? In restored areas or unrestored areas? With us being reminded of the research questions, now we can take a look at our data to see what we have available to answer these research questions. Let's go through research question 1 together. Research question 1, again, looks at leaf litter decomposition rate. So on the left-hand side, you'll notice that we have two different types of data. We have a table that includes decomposition data, and then a table that includes soil moisture data. So we're going to be looking at the decomposition data for this research question. In this table, you'll see a number of different categories. We have the bag number, which contained that type of plant that we are looking at, either the water saver plant, water spender plants, or the non-native plants. We have the bag type, which tells us the type of plant that's in there. Again, water saver, water spender, or non-native. The plot type, so what type of plant does that plot contain? And then lastly, we have the percent mass loss, which tells us how much mass has been lost between the time that that plant was put out and when we recorded the data. So how can we use this data that we have here to answer the research question? Well, let's take a look at the research question. The research question asks me for two different things. So first off, it asks what type of plant, and then afterwards, it asks me about decomposition. So what I want to do is I want to create a visualization that can help me look at the types of plant versus the amount of decomposition within them. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of the really cool tools of SageModeler, which is graphing. When I want to graph on SageModeler, all I have to do is click on this graph and a new table will appear. Within this table, you'll see that it has a y-axis and an x-axis that we can include information on. So what I'm going to do is again look at the two things that this research question is asking me for. What type of plant and the decomposition rate or the percent mass loss. So the first thing I'm going to do is look for the types of plant. So the bag type here will tell you what type of plant you have within your litter bag. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the bag type. I'm going to click and drag it on over to my x-axis here. You'll notice that when I plot that down, it separates it into three different columns: non-native plants, water saver plants, and water spender plants. Next, I want to see what that percent mass loss is for each one of these categories. So I'm going to go ahead and take that percent mass loss and drag it on over to the y-axis. You'll notice that all of a sudden my points move and now are aligned with a percent mass loss on the table. So how do we read this? Well, when we want to read this, we can look at any of the points by hovering over them to get more information about them. Points on this graph that are higher show a higher percent mass loss, meaning that they lost more mass as they were out. Points like the one down here will tell us something different. They will tell us that they either lost less mass, or in this case, if I hover over it, you'll notice a percent mass loss that is negative. So it gained mass. So how could it have gained mass? Well, gaining mass can happen for multiple different reasons. It could be because some dirt was introduced into the leaf litter bag, or it may even be that a plant decided that it wanted to grow in there. So you can go ahead and go around and check some of these different points to see the percent mass loss at different types of plants: our non-native plant, our water saver plant, and our water spender plant. So after we do that, we can start to then brainstorm some ideas on how we can use a number that can represent all of these data points. As you see, there is a pretty big range. So is there a way that I could use this range that I have here to have one representative number for non-native plants, one representative number for water saver plants, and one representative number for water spender plants? Take a moment to brainstorm some ideas, and I will see you again soon.